Ooh, scary. Yes, the evil Jabba the Gratex is back at it again. Anyway, I made half-hour worth of video, something like that. Just horrible. It just sucks the life out of you just to realize people are this idiotic. What are they fighting for? What are they defending here? It's just so stupid. I mean, he's using rhetoric just like the religious nuts. I mean, he even did title a video, I'm pro-life. I mean, he just has no clue at all. So anyway, I'll play clips from his video, the first parts of it, the first one, and then the rest I got a few pages of notes over here. So we'll just talk about what an asshole this guy is. So anyway, let's play some of this shit, just so you see how outrageous he is. Today, YouTube? Come on. Come on. Play a fucking clip.
If you don't want to live, you want to help other people, and kill yourself and donate your organs.
Okay, so yeah, die, kill yourself, and donate your organs. So this is the whole, I think, he's arguing that the heroin church doesn't really want to be dead, or wouldn't prefer not to have existed, or if he could snap his fingers and just be gone, he wouldn't do it, or some kind of bullshit like that. And it's just so insulting. It's it's got to be the most difficult, most important thing in the world is the meaning of your life, and whether you value it or think it's been worth it or not worth it, or whether perpetuating it has any real purpose, or whether you're just drudging along. And this stupid piece of shit engages in a personal discussion about that. Like I'm gonna subject this guy's statements to some sort of scrutiny about his personal statements of his desire. So I mean, it'd be just like me ripping somebody's statement regarding their will to live to pieces. So I mean, I could always just play, Stockholm Syndrome or something. So anybody who ever says they want to live, I'll just say Stockholm Syndrome. You've just been completely programmed by the DNA, right? I mean, you're so used to daddy fucking you that you can't imagine any other world except ones where your daddy fucks you. You're just addicted to it now. You can't let go of it. It's patronizing, insulting. It's a waste of time, really. I mean, it has nothing to do with the subject. And he's just revealing himself to be incredibly insensitive to the rights of people who wish to get the fuck out of here gracefully, and who have a standard for that. The word graceful, he just doesn't get it, because he drinks out of his toilet. He thinks everybody would find that acceptable. He's just a pig, a disgusting, grotesque, horrid creature.
How about you go and research what methods you should use? How about you actually look into the methods that people can use to kill themselves?
Well, I'm sure he is aware of those methods, and the point is a lot of them are flawed. Look, people don't go flying around the world and traveling halfway across Europe, to get to Sweden so they can, or Switzerland, whatever, which one it is, so they can, do their die with dignity thing. And here, Kevorkian spent 7 years in jail fighting for the right of people to die gracefully and with dignity at their moment, at their right timing, to orchestrate a death. I can give you all kinds of examples of the movie Soylent Green, all the crazy motherfucking sick, sadistic crazy fucks, are eating their little green dead people chips. And the scientist guy decides he's had enough, and he gracefully goes and dies. And how they do it, he slowly falls to sleep, thinking about the best times in his life and all that kind of stuff. No fear, no angst about any kind of horror or hitting the pavement or what if I missed and the bullet just fucks my brain up. No worries, just a graceful, dignified, decent death. People are entitled to it. And I mean, maybe if you didn't need, if you needed elective surgery, let's say, you had some sort of ugly, disgusting, grotesque face, but I mean, it didn't make people scream on the street, but just made them a little nauseous. Yeah, and so maybe it's elective surgery. So yeah, maybe you get fixed someday. You'd like to get it done. You really hate being the way you are, but yeah, the only choice is right now is you have to go to a guy named Dr. Mangala. You know, he doesn't really have a very good license, doesn't really know what he's doing. And so you're saying, no, I'm going to wait until it's right. I'm going to demand what's my entitlement. I'm going to fight for something better. And it's not until my disgusting gob makes it impossible for me to live, or very difficult for me to breathe anymore, will I accept or compromise and accept the indignity of doing it the wrong way instead of doing it the way I'm entitled to. So fuck you. Fuck you for not understanding the subject, and fuck you for just being the insensitive, ignorant, dumb, smelly piece of crap that you are. Yep, you suck. I hated you before, but now I hate you with a whole new clarity and contempt.
You don't want to die. That's why you consider me wishing you death to be a bad thing, and the fact that you completely ignore the fact that I wish you well. Or maybe you'd say, oh, wishing people well, that's just an empty.
Yeah, well, that's not the point either. The point is, as you said, die and make your resources available. It's that kind of thing. Like his existence doesn't have value. It's not that his existence doesn't have value to the world. It's that it doesn't have value to him. All right? It hurts him. And that should be respected. And so there's a distinction there to be made. Maybe if you didn't add that little extra phrase, then it wouldn't be so malicious. But that's what's part of this whole thing. It's very malicious. Like somehow I should give my organs to motherfucking insane people. It's like giving people dogs to fuck. Why should I give somebody my liver so they can use my liver to advocate that people should have more babies so they can have more, so they can take more dead people's livers? Why should I get invested in that at all? These people aren't going to do anything valuable with their extra time or their extra years. They're just going to piss them away like they did every other year they had. So fuck that shit. In a mediocrity. Just being fucked by their daddy DNA.
Wishing people dead, that's bad.
Point is not whether or not I want to or intend to. The point is that I don't have an appropriate method that I will...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to play the whole thing. So, move on to the next clip of gratex. But this is the point. I mean, like I said, nobody should have to settle for a sloppy death. It's the most important event in your life, how you're going to die. And people have a right to be a little bit... No, I'm not doing it your way. I'm going to do it my fucking way, you fucker.
Wait a minute, so there's discomfortable ways to kill yourself? But wait a minute, isn't life the ultimate discomfort? Isn't life the absolute evil? So surely a little bit of short-term pain or suffering in order to end all of that length of your life where you suffer and cause other people to suffer by depriving them of your organs and
Wow, depriving them of your organs. Isn't that interesting rhetoric? Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I mean, Stockholm Syndrome all over the place, or Helsinki, whatever. You're nuts. You're a crazy motherfucker. You're all so damn desperate, aren't you? You're just so desperate, and you don't want to live. I don't believe you want to live. You're just so afraid of dying. Give me somebody else's organs, because I can't die. No, keep giving me organs. Keep giving me something. Give me something. Keep me alive, because you can't. You're afraid to be dead. You're just so afraid of death. You don't like life. You don't want to live. You're just afraid of death.
Sources, surely you could get over that hump of a little bit of short-term pain in order to end all the long-term pain.
Right, that's like saying to somebody, like the woman is, she's got a little bit of the clap, and she got this, and she's that. I mean, you're saying, well, you should be able to fuck her. You want to fuck, you're horny, you should want to fuck her. Well, why the fuck should they want to do it your way? Again, why should they want to fuck what you would fuck, you silly person? It's just idiotic. So yeah, they'll endure it. until they don't have a choice, and then they'll do it sloppy. That's how we see it happen in the real world. 1 million people kill themselves, most of them in a kind of a sloppy manner. And there's a whole bunch of people who don't succeed and end up just kind of messed up even worse than they were before they started. And you're going to say that's the way it should be. And I'm going to say, you fucking suck. And you deserve exactly what you've earned. So you advocate it, you should live it, fucker. That should be your motherfucking fate. So I hope you get exactly what you deserve. Exactly what you deserve.
You face in your life. At least at the bare minimum, you could go and get a vasectomy so that you never have children by accident.
Oh, God, now you're even getting sillier. I mean, the guy has already announced his, sexuality. He's not doing vaginas, moron. God, you're stupid. Really, that was just so fucking stupid. It's incredible. You're going to analyze somebody's life. You're going to tell us that he wants to live, and you don't even know that he doesn't do vaginas. God. I mean, that's pitiful, fucker. That's a pitiful, disgraceful kind of bullshit. You're going to psychoanalyze somebody, and you don't even know a fact that critical to their existence. God, you're stupid.
But you don't do that either, do you?
This time.
Thanks for Broken Mick for pointing that one out.
Yeah, well, who's so Broken Mech's pointing out something important. Again, nobody's, what is the accident rate if you use birth control properly? Oh, that's right, like 1 in 100,000. Yeah, we can afford that high an accident rate. We know these aren't accidents, gratex. Okay, every accident has a bottle, somewhere in the cupboard behind it. So, get real, fucker.
Research, but I'm just stating that
you're going to do when are you going to do your research? Are you doing it now? You don't want to live, you think it's futile and you want to die, but you haven't done your research yet.
Look, asshole, he has, in the sense that he's heard about how other people die. He's seen them on TV. He's seen them in video, no doubt, die, by putting a gun in their mouth and watching their brains fly across the room. All right? And you can get these little books, Final Exit. Yeah, you know how useless this piece of shit is? I like Derek Humphreys, but, he is sort of full of shit when he wrote this book, because before he wrote the book and he told the story, it took about 4 hours for his wife to die, and it didn't go all that well, and she was spitting shit up, and it was just, it was a little bit sloppy and messy and not too good. And basically this book's great advice is plastic bags and barbiturates, which doesn't sound too thrilling to me. Doesn't exactly sound like dignity. So, fuck you some more. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, what you doing? Just watching TV and going on MSN and chatting to people instead? You're living. That's what you're doing instead of doing that research into your suicide. You're living.
Yeah, he's living. That's right, and you're wasting. Yeah, that's all you are. You're just sitting there saying, when's Daddy gonna fuck me again? When's Daddy gonna fuck me again? I can hear it. I can hear it. You're just owned by a DNA molecule, owned by your addiction. That's all you are. A sick, sad, pitiful, addicted slob. And you look like one. You have every attribute of the typical addicted personality.
That doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my research, but I'm just stating that.
You're going to do when are you going to do your research? Are you doing
I
it now?
already did that one.
Just don't throw yourself out a window. That'd be horrible. Don't slit your wrists. That'd just be horrible. But at least do your research rather than saying,
Okay, well, what?
At least actually do your research into it. Rather than saying you're going to go do your research some point, maybe after you finish this meal, maybe after the next meal.
Well, the point is, it's not his obligation to do any of that stuff. It should be his free choice. And just like you go to the dentist or you go to a professional and have things done right, that's what people should be allowed to do. We should not be obligated to try to figure out how to physically cease our bodily functions in a humane and graceful and dignified manner, just like you go to a doctor and expect some sort of professional care, or just like we take our pets to the vet. We don't flush our dog down the toilet. We don't put plastic bags over his fucking head. All right? That's right. We pay somebody to do it right. And that's the way it should be, you stupid cunt, for human beings. And for you to deny that that's the reality, it's just so fucking insulting, and it just proves that you are as you have been described. You are an insensitive, sadistic, masochistic, loony fucking tune.
You know, maybe tomorrow, maybe, you know, you're going out tonight, and maybe tomorrow you'll do your research into dying because you don't want to live. But in the meantime, you'll go live.
And you'll just rub that in a way, right? You just rub in the fact that you're still here, ha 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 ha. And, yeah, and there's a certain part of it it's true. I mean, even us who don't think there's any value in living, we're addicts too. We're part of getting stuck in it, where, yeah, okay, I don't really want to do it today, I'll put it off a day. But it's like anything else. You can want to go get a treatment for, you know, some sort of condition you have, right? And you could put it off. You could just say, well, I don't have to get it done today, so I'll put it off until tomorrow. And that's what we do. And dying is intrinsically not. It's like going to the dentist, at least, right? I mean, it's not exactly party time.
Right to a graceful exit assisted by a doctor. We don't have that choice yet. We're still fighting for that civil right. Thanks for your compassion on the issue.
You want a doctor to do it for you, okay, fine.
Yeah, that's all you got to say, right? Okay, so all this rubbish talk, and then when it's put to your face, okay, fine, it's the best you can do. I mean, you're mocking it, and then you say, okay, fine. So what does that mean? Are you conceding the point that it's better done by somebody who knows how to do it? That amateurs shouldn't fucking be doing it? Jesus Christ. Stupid motherfucker. Well, you know, I might as well get to it now. I mean, I'll bring it up later. But, you know, he makes a point later where he talks like somehow the needs of the dying to have a graceful exit somehow would be sucking energy out of the healthcare system. Like it'd be a huge percentage of the healthcare system that would be oriented towards this right to die thing. We know it's dirt cheap. The chemistry is dirt cheap. Kevorkian proved that. It was incredibly cheap. I mean, a little carbon monoxide, I think that we can do even better than that. And this sodium, I can't remember what it's called, that kills dogs. Pretty effective. And you know you could have trained technicians that could do this. They wouldn't have to go to years worth of medical school. They could just go to a year of some legal counseling, some psychology counseling, and some know how to do an injection. And that's all they would need to be a professional euthanizer. Yeah. And so it wouldn't be, and there's no conflict with the medical system. That's such a fucking goddamn straw man lie. But that's all the people got. It's nonsense. That somehow make it out like the dying are in the way of the living. No, I'm afraid not. It's you motherfuckers who are in our way. Alright? You want to steal from our lives. You don't want people to have the right to die because then you can't enslave them. And you'd also have to accept the fact that their commentary will keep speaking loud and clear. Quit imposing life, reckless motherfuckers. Quit imposing life, reckless motherfuckers. And especially when you saw that the IQ of the people committing suicide was a lot higher than you fucking Helsinki retards. Or Stockholm retards.
Belittling somebody, but like making a video saying that I'm not credible because I enjoy life, calling me a piggy, talking about punching my face, tee-hee. That's not trying to belittle someone. That's not malicious intent. Yeah,
and you ask for all that though because you're a mocking, insulting, rude, and you're a troll. You're a troll. That's who you are. You're a troll on the internet. Bravo.
And it's that he's not going to just, smash his head on the side of the plane and have blood splurting out of his eyeballs while he's falling to his doom.
Oh, this was pretty hilarious. Yeah, this is the part where gratex was comparing dying with going skydiving or going to get a drink. Going to get a drink. Where? In Harlem? I mean, what's the danger in going to get a drink? Where's the threat there? Well, anyway, I might as well play it, but I mean, this is just so idiotic.
Skydiving's safe. Skydiving is safe.
Yeah, well, what are the statistics, asshole? what's the actual likelihood of getting hurt skydiving? Okay, I'm not saying, parasailing and the stuff some of these people do with the little tiny parachutes and stuff. I just mean skydivers. What really is the accident rate? And the point being made by Heroin Church that you completely ignored was the fact that skydivers don't like build an airplane in their garage, a cheap little crappy one, and then fly up in the air, and then pack their own parachute, even though they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and then jump out of a plane and skydive. No, professionals who know what the fuck, who have done it before and know what the threats are and the dangers are, okay, they pack the parachutes and they fly the airplanes and they make sure the engines on the plane run. Alright? So it's done with a whole bunch of control mechanisms to make it safe. Alright? And that's what his point was. Why should people have to die sloppy when we have the technology to die well? There's no reason except assholes like you that encourage the bigots and the religious nuts. Okay? Because that's all you're spouting. You're just spouting a religion of life is better, and I'm going to keep imposing it on people. Well, fuck you.
Suicide isn't. Skydiving is perfectly fucking safe. Nobody dies. It doesn't happen.
Well, we know that probably that the facts are that more people die percentage-wise in bathrooms than they die jumping out of airplanes. Right?
Parachutes don't fail to open. I mean, the reason people do it is because of the risk involved.
Boy, you really don't get it. That isn't why they do it. They do it because they want to do that letting go thing. Okay? That's all it is. But it's like bungee jumping and everything else. They do it because they have little tiny penises, gratex. They do it because they're assholes, okay? They can't get enough out of life, right? They can't. Fucking a woman just isn't good enough for them anymore. They got to put, whipped cream on her head, and then they have to, everything. They have to have the band has to be playing outside, the marching band, and there has to be a bunch of little teenage girls or whatever going by in their Catholic suits, or they just can't get it up. Yeah, so they have to find something else to get their thrill-seeking from. But it's bullshit, all right? It's absolute motherfucking bullshit.
They do it because of the risk of death, because they enjoy the risk. They enjoy the risk. You don't.
Yeah, if it was about risk, then they'd go hang out, in Africa or something. Go take a trip to... You want to risk? Go take a trip to Africa. And go take some risk.
Your choice. That's your choice. You have your choices.
Yeah, well, the point is we don't have our choices. You said the word choices 3 times. When did I choose to be here? Oh, that's right, I didn't choose to be here. An asshole, fucking retard, gave birth to me. And I'm obliged to somehow pray to it and have reverence for it and respect for it. Well, I don't have any respect for it. I don't have any reverence for it. I don't have any appreciation for it. And if somebody doesn't stop it, if one of it's like ants and termites, right? They're just caught in this eternal conflict. Well, if some ant someday doesn't grow up, or some termite someday doesn't grow up and build a little nuclear bomb to end the wars forever, they'll just keep doing it forever. So yeah, there has to be somebody willing to say, stop, you stupid motherfuckers. And so yeah, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say, certainly I'm going to say, stop, you stupid motherfuckers who are getting fucked by daddy and are addicted to his dick in their mouth. And that's why they they got the Stockholm DNA syndrome. Yeah, punish me some more, Mr. DNA. Thank you. You're just owned by your addictive fucking psychology, you sick, pitiful motherfuckers. Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like psychoanalysis? Yeah, we can do that for you. Piece of shit. Tub of shit, sorry. You're not a piece of shit, you're a big giant tub of shit.
Has done his part.
No, he hasn't, because his argument is he can't go kill himself now because he has to spread his message. He's not spreading his message sitting in the shack screaming and shouting at people and blocking them for disagreeing.
Oh, he's got to whine about the blocking again. Oh, oh, you're such a pussy. But whatever. Look, obviously I'm making noise through this medium, right? Okay, you want to make this argument to me 10 years ago when things were looking pretty pitiful, when I was sending out newsletters, to random addresses and nobody's, paying any attention. Well, then you can make this argument. But obviously, this medium does create it does empower people as a communication medium. And maybe it is all fail and a waste of time. But like I said, I've sort of gotten what I intended out of it. 4 years of arguing. We're sort of nailed down what the obstacles are, how to do it right, how to do it wrong, all of that stuff. So there's lots of value in all of this. And if I sewed this up in a year and got out of here, then you'd still be psychoanalyzing, I'm sure. I'm still sure that even on my grave, you'd be doing the same thing. You'd just find some other bullshit and say, I told you somehow so, Gary. Because that's the kind of prick you are. But I'd be happy to piss on your grave too, with pleasure. Hope I can do that for you.
Because he's making himself unpopular by doing that. He's ensuring that his message doesn't get out to enough people. You can point to people that has gotten out to, but it's just not getting out to enough.
Oh, well, whatever. You go point to the YouTuber doing it the right way and all of that kind of crap. And if your argument is I should be a liar, well, fuck that. I should be dishonest. I should be something else than myself. Well, fuck all that shit.
Oh, it's not either he is getting out to people or he isn't getting out to people. It's a gradiating thing. It's relative.
Yeah, now you're making up that shit because you realize you're full of shit. The fact is that I have communicated a message. Some good results have come of it. I've affected people. I'm not a little uncomfortable with it because I really don't want that responsibility, but I have. I've changed people's lives. I've interrupted how it was moving. And, okay, and now you're just going to argue that, he could have been he could have been president of the world if he just took a bath once in a while. I mean, this is just such a pile of crap. This backseat driving from, Blubber the Hutt.
But this is what you've done. You just strawman me. And you've used this absolute thinking. Either it is or it isn't again. I don't value suffering. That's what you're saying. I don't value suffering. You value suffering, and I
Well, it's clear, though. It's clear that you're going to make lots of these statements, just keep affirming the scenario as if it's a functional machine, as if life is running a profit. Now, the only way you can contrive of some kind of notion that life is running a profit is that you have to see no value in the bulk of the suffering taking place. In my opinion, there's no other way, because what do you have on the other side of the scale? The satisfaction of trivial fucking desires. I want the Mets to win the World Series. I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, women kill each other to get into a fucking goddamn department store because they got a $10 off coupon on a Cabbage Patch doll. I mean, fuck you and this idea that human beings need new livers because they're actually doing something that matters. All they're doing is abusing toilet bowls. Oh, fuck, you're so fucking obnoxious. So anyway, I will read notes now. That's what I'll do, and then I'll play this last video, which was really hard sailing, man. That was tough shit to get through. Oh, brutal. This video's going to go on forever. I'm already really tired, so we'll see how far I get through this crap. Well, maybe I should just cut this here, and then I'll do this as a part 2. Yeah, because I need a break, I think. I mean, I just find this so obnoxious. It's so discouraging. I mean, this is what you're talking to. Human beings are just so fucking stupid. Alright, well, I'll do 1 page of this crap. Jesus. Alright, so, he's making this whole point about, the quality of how we live and die. And the fact is that, yeah, death is I'd argue, the most important single event that takes place in your life is your death. And, yeah, why shouldn't we have the UL-approved version? Why shouldn't we have a fail-safe, guaranteed method of death? he suggested arsenic in here somewhere, right? Or strychnine, that's it, strychnine. Where the fuck do you buy pure strychnine? I mean, the only way you can get strychnine is in some sort of impure form, or you're going to have to synthesize it, and then you're going to have to somehow get it in a purer form, because if you don't use... No, cyanide, that was the one he said, cyanide. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of stupid, because there's no access to that, and if you fuck around with it and just half poison yourself with it, it's the worst fucking way in the world to goddamn die. It's a horrible death. So if you don't have enough of it, you're going to die really, really, really badly. I mean, it's like dying of fluorine overdose or something. Well, anyway, it's just so stupid for him to suggest that. No, who dies of cyanide? Killing themselves with cyanide. It's just stupid. I mean, it's rat poison, you nut. Oh, why even argue with people this stupid? Yeah. So, yes, this is whole denial of the fact that, like I said, we see what people go through to try to get to the right to die their way. They go to court, they go across countries, they do all kinds of things to try to get the death they want and they feel they're entitled to. So this is just such a bullshit argument. Why aren't you dead already? Yeah, well, I'm not going to die your way again. I'm not going to live your way, and I'm not going to die your way. Because your way is this, it's disgusting. You turd-eating piece of crap. Anyway, no, I did read how the skydiving thing was just so stupid. It's a low risk of death, yeah, well, whatever. There's just no comparison. Just announce your intent, and everything will be fine. Let's see, no sad faces. Yeah, anyway, well, I have, basically informed my family that don't be surprised, if you get a call someday. But there's no way you can rub it in their face. There's no way they can be part of it, okay, in any overt way. And that's the truth of it, because it's too uncomfortable for them. But yeah, they certainly have already acknowledged that it would have been better not to have had. Okay, yeah, they understood that. But they understood that because they watched, one of their kids die horribly of cancer. Just fuck you and this bullshit that people should keep just playing this idiotic game forever and ever. You haven't tried to get it done, so it's again, you haven't. Like he knows what goes through somebody's mind. It's just so insulting. Let's see, let's do some sloppy something on you, fat fuck. Let's do some sloppy surgery. Yeah, that's it. So again, I used that argument before, but yeah, I mean, if why would you wouldn't want to compromise? Like I said, if I was going to take out your appendix and I was going to give you a 70% chance that you're not going to, that I'm going to wash my hands, and I'll give you a 50-50 chance that the knife is sharp enough, and I mean, you would say, fuck you. Do it right or you don't do it at all, you motherfucker. Alright, most important single event in your life. Do not know the, epistemology of the word, valuable or something, which is just so disgusting. I mean, when people play these word games, like somehow we have to look up the origin of a word to know its meaning. No, that's right. Words have changed in their meaning, and their meanings have been refined, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. But yeah, there's the history of a word is irrelevant to its current use, in my opinion. It's a simplification to call life shit. Oh yeah, so he accused my philosophy of being a simplification, and it is. But that's but that's the nature of it, okay? You don't undo it. Just because it's a simple answer doesn't mean it's a wrong answer. And if you're going to say there's something more, then you ought to actually have to come up with the goods. You ought to exactly explain. And your explanation is shit. I mean, I'll get to that later, but yeah, your theories about what's going on in the future and what's possible and what's actually happening to us now, they're all wrong. and demonstrably wrong. Straw man complaint. Well, he's always complaining about this straw man crap. But he's the one who's always sets up the straw man. You know, that there is no argument beyond saying something like, oh, life is constantly miserable. No one makes those arguments. So he's the one that makes all these exaggerations to set for a false premise. And that's all he's using it for. Alright, focus on people who want to live rather than people who want to die. It's just so stupid. Like I said, dying is very inexpensive. If you want to live and you want all this other stuff, yeah, pay for it yourself. You know, buy your livers if you want extra livers. But I ain't giving you mine, you fucking cunt, because I know you'll make no good use of it. So you what? So you can go to the World Series and watch the Mets win or something. Yeah, no, you're not using my liver for that. I'll give you a liver transplant, but you ain't going to like the way I'm going to transplant it, because I'm going to take the liver and shove it down your fucking ugly gob. That's how I'll transplant it. Yeah, so he's you know, he completely implies that there's a competition for resources, and he even uses the word triage. You know, like when you're establishing the priority of a medical situation, like who at the emergency room is the most critical danger. And that's not what's happening, okay? There is no competition between the dying who want to die and the living who want to live. There's no conflict between those two. One of them spends 1 penny, the other one spends 99% of the other pennies. It's just idiotic. It's not even, that isn't even a fair, it's a penny to a million penny comparison. The life livers of the pigs, the gluttons, the hogs. They'll burn down your house so they can have their extra liver. Fuckers. I mean, you completely compromise the quality of our life, you know, because they have to run from death, because they want daddy's dick in their ass one more time. Life, water are more important. Life wanters are more important. Yeah, he just says it quite directly. And it's grotesque. You know, the point is respecting what people want to do. And anti-natalists aren't telling the living that they can't live. They're telling them they don't have a right to impose life. So if you could just settle for living your own fucking life out, and minding your own fucking business, and not conducting experiments on other sentient beings, we're not going to have an argument. But as soon as you say you're entitled to play God, then we're going to have an argument. Alright, yeah, he just keeps talking to you don't want to really die kind of crap. And again, I can just make the same argument. You don't really want to live. You're just snuggling up with Satan. You know, the dark side just owns you. You know, because you're just so used to it. Slave to your procreation. And so the slave argument came up, you know, as an argument point. Why should somebody be a slave? And the point is yes, we are slaves to your procreation. And gratex can't really understand this, because he doesn't get the whole idea that in the future, the people that will exist in the future will be substantially just like the people living now, and that if I leave them less food, then I'm damaging something just as equal to myself. If I make the world, you know, if I cover the world in shit, if I shit in their water, they're going to have to drink it tomorrow. Okay? And he just doesn't get that whole concept. That if I allow something to continue that's been going on today, and it's been going on for, you know, millions of years, and I just sit by and say, keep doing it. Well, I've just basically I've sentenced myself to a future of that slavery. So that would be stupid. So yeah, I use the ants and termites thing. I think it's a good analogy. You know, it's just insane. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. How many termite wars, ant termite wars do there need to be? This is just insidious. He keeps talking free choice. The door is open. Those are the words he used. The door is open. So somehow we have the right to die. That somehow we choose to live, and that's why we're alive. And, you weren't pushed out of a vagina without signing a contract saying you agree. It's just such a pile of shit. So again, the imposing argument he's just totally going to run away from. Yeah, it's just about we're gonna keep just forcing you to relive in our world. We're going to keep forcing the intelligent to keep being hatched into this this disgusting cuckoo bird world. And it's kind of like the cuckoos. Cuckoo birds basically go to another bird's nest, throw the real eggs out, and then lay their egg in and have another bird raise their egg. And why would I want for the human race to continue when I have contempt for the average human being? The average human being is disgusting. It makes me want to fucking goddamn vomit. I mean, why the fuck would I be hopeful that we can perpetuate some more of those? Why would I want to live that life? To arise as a consciousness at 5 or whatever, 4 years old and say, oh, I'm on planet Earth. And then I'll be indoctrinated and brainwashed. And I won't know I'm a complete asshole. And end up being an overweight, addicted, lover of cockiness. DNA cock. Yeah, doesn't sound like any fun to me. So again, most important single experience is your death. We really should do it right. Doing it wrong is inexcusable for intelligences. Intelligences shouldn't be doing that wrong. And the only reason why, in theory, it's always been done wrong is because of religious dogma, because of stupid, ignorant religious fucks. But now we also have these kind of fuckers in our way. The pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-atheist. They're not real atheists, they're just pseudo-atheists, because they believe in the unicorn, the lunicorn. Alright, your pure life rushed before your eyes. Your pure life rushed. Yeah, he was talking about how he died, or got close to death, and it was just horrible, so he knows death. Gratex knows death, and we're just going to take his word for it. I mean, I wouldn't let the guy babysit my toilet. I wouldn't let him babysit, whatever, an outhouse. And he's definitely going to abuse it. You just know it. And why would I take your word for anything, fucknut? I mean, if you got some grand theory that, once you get close to dying, you're going to really know how awful dying is. I mean, what a crock of shit. Again, it goes against all the evidence of other witnesses. But it's a practical matter. Most people aren't going to even know when they're dying. They're not even going to have their own sensibilities aren't even going to be there. When I had my stroke, I was heading off into some sort of twilight, and I certainly wasn't having a horrid time. I just was having something's way fucked up. But anyway. So then he said, dead is a state of life. He actually said that. No, being dead is to be without life. It's not a state of life. It's to be without it. Okay, when you're dead, you're dead. That means the neurology has stopped, the consciousness has stopped, the identity has stopped. Everything that was you is dead, is gone, is vanished, is nowhere to be recovered or found. That's that reality. So that's a crock of shit right there. And we all know that before we were dead, we weren't in a concentration camp somewhere, having our feet burned off or something. I mean, come on. So they did the typical, life's just full of ups and downs, and the whole balances out kind of argument. So how many people have to die in the next world war? Come on, give me a number for you to say it's too many. It's unacceptable. Now, yes, we have proven the human race can't do this right. How many would have had to die in World War II for you to say, no, that's just too expensive, too expensive? Is there any number? Come on, let's hear it. Have the balls to come up with a number. That's really the fundamental problem here. You just keep arguing like life's running a profit. I know it to be running a deficit. That's our conflict, okay? You want to keep doing something because you think you're making money. I know you're losing big time, and it's just not your money. If it was all the suffering went through gratex, well, then I'd say fine. But I know it doesn't, and that's what I find so offensive about this. It's because you're gambling with other people's welfare, and you got no right to do that. You're the ones with the burden of proof. You're the ones initiating the action. You're the one creating the living beings. You're the one creating, imposing. You're the ones with the burden. And you're not satisfying it. Not by a long fucking shot. We are still evolving. Can you believe somebody would say shit like this? We are still evolving. So point it out to me. What evolution has taken place in our construction in the last 100,000 years? The only thing evolving, all right, is our knowledge base. And the more we know about our silly, stupid, addicted psychology. That you are just making this, you're just trained rats. You're just whapping the stupid little round wheel. It's a game for a retard. Something smart does not play this game because the game is made out of a contrived purpose. Spill milk, clean up half of it. That's a game for a retard. Oh, Jesus. So anyway, Heroin Church did say designed by nature, and Gratex went to the great lengths to say, no, it wasn't designed. Well, it was designed. Okay, natural selection is a designer. Competitive selection is a designer. Environmental selection is a designer. It forces things to fit a mold. And if they don't fit it, they're not going to live. And it's that simple. They're not going to survive. And that's the process of design. When is irrelevant? I don't know what that means. You will... all you will ever have. Yeah, he just kept saying, this life is all you will ever have. Like that's supposed to mean something to me. Well, so fucking what? We see that it's done over and over. It's like saying, you are one snowflake. I can go outside in winter and pick up one little snowflake, and somebody could say, that's your special snowflake. That's the only snowflake like that you'll ever have. Or I'll be the only human the snowflake will ever have. Well, who cares? There's a bazillion snowflakes. I mean, I have to have a preposterously exaggerated ego to think that all you will ever have means anything when there's been trillions of sentient creatures existing over the millennia. What a crap pile of shit. All we will ever have, though, is this stupid, idiotic game. There's no game. You can't fix the game. All you can do is, if you're a selfish motherfucker, is fight over your position on the playing field, your position on the board, whether you're a king or a bishop or a knight. But that's all you can do. You can't fix the game. And being a dead is like, what, being asleep? Oh my God. Whoa, scary, scary. Life is a journey, not a destination. I just thought that was so funny. He has that on his channel page and is proud of it. I mean, apparently he just doesn't watch enough of my videos, but, you know, I have said a couple of times in videos now that I thought that was a laughable moment in my life when I was 10 years old, and my mother, noticing I seemed a little depressed, gave me a poster, put a poster on my wall. You know, I came home from school and it was on my wall. You know, life is a journey, not a destination. It had a little sunset and everything in it. And I had a whole conversation with her about what exactly does this trite pile of shit mean. Okay? I mean, it's just stupid. So if I take a sightseeing tour through a cesspool, what am I, oh, good, I'm so happy I got to see the turds. Oh, I'm so happy I watched my sister die. Oh, I'm so happy I got to watch my parents die. Oh, this is all so fucking cool. What a fun trip. No, I wouldn't go on that trip. I'd say fuck you to that trip. Shove that trip up your fucking ass. And the end game is, it is a destination. Your destination is death. You're going to dead and irrelevant. Nothing will ever know you existed. The whole thing is for absolutely nothing on a personal level. You're not going to win on a personal level. In the end, the summing up will be absolutely nothing. Dead silence. Crickets. That's all they'll be. They'll read your name. Crickets. And then on top of that, I was already insightful enough at 10 years old to understand there was a whole context to a life. That if you were an axe murderer, it wasn't about your fucking, your trip. It wasn't about your journey. No, it was about the destination of, oh, you killed that little 13-year-old girl, and you raped her, and you frightened her to death, and you scared her, and you humiliated her, and you harmed her and hurt her. You were a piece of shit. That's the destination of your fucking life, is you are a motherfucking gassable hunk of shit. That's another offensive part of this. He brings up the American justice system and its death penalty. Look, as long as governors would sign the death warrant with their own life at stake, be willing to say, I know this motherfucking cunt's guilty, and you can lock me up in jail, or you can gas me if I'm wrong, because I've looked at the evidence, and I saw the trial, and he got a fair trial, and it's a good judgment. Now, as long as a governor signs it with that stipulation that his own balls are on the line, I'm all for a fucking death penalty, because these guys are nothing but rabid dogs. You don't put a rabid dog in a cage and feed it and take care of it. No, you shoot the fucking thing in the head. I mean, it's just so fucking lame that these fucking goddamn sadistic lunatics deserve some sort of, oh, let them live. First off, it would just be torturing them for nothing. You think Charlie Manson's had a good time over the last 30 or 40 or 50 years? What's the point of keeping these fuckers alive? No point at all. You're such a manipulator and an abuser. So anyway, since I'm almost done with this, I might as well finish. Only got a few clips left. So this is part 3 of his video. I mean, I got through my notes anyway. Oh, God, I'm just so depressed.
Hopefulness that leads to nothing trivial.
It leads to nothing, but I've already made the argument on my channel page, which I know you've been to, so you must have seen the video that's on the middle of it. It says, life is the journey, not the destination. It ends in nothing, it ends nowhere, but the journey is the important thing.
Why? Why would it be important exactly? Like I said, if we're going to concede at best, it's a mediocre journey. It's not a journey through fucking, some sort of perfect, the land of Oz. This is a journey through fucking Kansas in the Depression.
You're still hooked up on Christianity and these...
Oh, what a joke. I mean, you're the fucking asshole doing the cliche Christianity, I'm pro-life, and you're talking like you're pro-life. Like, yeah, make more effort to satisfy the needs of the insatiably, insanely clinging, rather than the people who rationally choose to get the fuck out of here.
Your unhappiness at the fact that there is no afterlife, whereas I'm saying it's the life that's important, not the afterlife.
Wow, this is such a big, fat, juicy, nothing straw man. The fact that there's nothing doesn't have anything to do with the want for an afterlife. It just has to do with the fact that there's just nothing accomplished in this stupid nonsense. And there's nothing at the end that you can sit there and pile on and say, well, this is why it was stupid. There's not some mission accomplished. All right, so it's like speeding with your little red flashing lights to the scene of a rescue mission, and there's nothing to rescue. There's nothing to justify it. So you recklessly sped down the road and maybe killed somebody for nothing, for no redeeming purpose.
So make something of life,
Yeah, he's making something of it. He's trying to seduce trolls into traps. And he's going to poke at a few and throw a spitball at one or two. Yeah, so that's an accomplishment right there. Try to knock down some trolls. Try to knock down some of these slimy balls of fucking Jabba pus.
Completely destroys Christianity.
Significant gains that are destined to just be...
Yeah, we won't keep playing all the clips. I don't know why this one goes back further. That's weird. That one was 6:15. This one's 4:19. I think I've obviously made mistakes somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't. I've never been dead. Even before I was born, I was never dead. But I have been close to death.
So, did you hear that? So even before I was born, I was not dead. Well, then, I'm sorry, Flubber. You were. You were officially dead.
I know for a fact that life...
I know for a fact. Trust me, I saw Jesus on my bed. He was right there, and I talked to him. I know it for a fact. What does that mean? Does that... Oh, I know for a fact, because, man, I ate that big, giant corn dog, and then I coughed on the corn because it got stuck down my throat the wrong way. I was choking. And like all the big other fat, gluttonous Jabba the Pig, I was going to choke to death, and but I didn't. But man, it was horrible. Before I almost died, it was horrible. Well, yeah, of course it was horrible, because you were choking on being a glutton, you asshole, so it was uncomfortable. But if you were actually dying, it wouldn't have been. You retard.
Any form is comparable to death. Okay?
Okay, why? Because you say so? Any form of life is better than being dead. Gratex knows because he traveled there and back, because he's a superhero kind of guy. He traveled to the land of the dead to tell us that it's better to be alive, even if you only have a 1-inch penis. Like this.
You were dead before you were born, and I don't think you were in any kind of suffering.
I wasn't dead before I was born. Dead is a state of life.
Dead is a state of life. Oh, curious. Yeah, no, I think it's a state of unlife. That's what it is. It just means that you have a corpse that we can name. So yeah, before you lived, you didn't have a corpse. Okay, it's true. You were an egg, a zygote, different other forms of matter. But you certainly were dead, Gratex. When you were an egg and when you were a sperm, you were dead. When you were a zygote, you were dead. You were not alive. You were dead. Okay, because you, okay, as a neurology, as a consciousness, had not yet formed.
Imposed deprivation mechanism that drags you through life. It's not exactly pleasurable to be in a almost constant state of want, need, or pain, or discomfort, which is...
I don't know why I'm playing that. I'll just move on.
Death is an inevitable thing for all living beings, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
So what the fuck?
So what the fuck? Did you get it? Are you ever gonna get this?
No.
This life thing is all you've got, okay? It's all you'll ever have.
And again, why should that mean anything to me? Somebody pulls a pile of dog shit in my hand and they go, oh, God, that's all you'll ever have. Isn't it special? Isn't it cool? Don't you smell it? Ooh, isn't it neat? No, it's a pile of shit. So again, why, this notion of yours that you can't even fathom how somebody could look at this mediocre fucktardia and say, oh, no thank you, please. I mean, you really can't get that. You're so horny for the DNA dick up your ass. You just can't understand how somebody could have a virgin ass and say, no, I don't want any of that shit. Why the hell would I want a dick up my ass? God, it sounds creepy.
It's all you will ever have. Do you get it?
Do you get it?
It's going to go, yes.
Yeah, don't you get it? I don't know how you can't get it. One human being is just one human being, like one snowflake. That yes, it may be unique, but abundance makes uniqueness irrelevant. It makes it mean absolutely nothing. And so then we shovel the shit and try to get rid of this shit because it's shit. Alright? And that's what life is. Life is shit when you treat it like shit. Alright? We've essentially declared it shit. Termites declare the ants shit. Whites declare the blacks shit. This declares that shit. I declare you shit. That's all this is. It's all shit. Alright? It just depends on whether you're going to be the shitter or the shitty. But it doesn't matter. Whatever one you are, you're shit.
Before that, prior to it going, This is the entire infinite of all you will ever have.
Oh, all I will ever have. Again, right. And nobody's going to be born again. No, there won't be any new people. No, there won't be any new this. There won't be... Of course there will. And that's the whole fucking point. So once you promise me that it's over, then your argument is stupid to me. Why do I care? Why would I want to perpetuate it? Why I would invent it? I would never initiate this. I wouldn't sit there and say, well, I'm in a dark, cold universe. What shall I do? Oh, I shall make me a man, a fucktard, a little 1-inch dick, fat, blubbering, silly asshole who likes to have his father's dick up his ass. Why the fuck would I do that?
Between now and the day you die. And when you die, you'll have nothing at all.
Yeah, well, we got nothing at all now, okay? What I got is, I got bills, and I got worries, and I got concerns, and I got inevitable death just hanging over my head. How is life going to kill me? How's it going to finish me off? And what kind of sadistic, loony manner is it going to fuck me up? I'm going to get foobarred in some hideous, maliciously evil way. Yay! What the fuck, asshole? What rational person would say, oh yeah, give me some of that. I'm at the fucking, mini mart, and I want to go buy me some goodies. I'm going to buy me that. Why the fuck would I buy a boomerang? Yeah, you throw it this way, it comes back, and it cuts your fucking head off. What's the fucking point? Why would I buy it? Why would I throw it? Oh, God, you're stupid. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The only way I would do it is I'd have to be a complete imbecile like you. And I'm just not. Alright, so if this is the last clip, the stupid one about the journey stuff. So let's see if there's anything after the journey crap. Whoops. Put it up here.
Hopefulness that leads to nothing trivial.
It leads to nothing, but I've already made the argument on my channel page, which I know you've been to, so you must have seen the video that's on the middle.
Let's play.
That are destined to just be swept in the wind, away in the wind. Listen to that song, Dust in the Wind.
They're destined to be swept away in the wind, that's right. But prior to that moment, this is all you have. The entire journey.
Oh yeah, the entire journey, the splendor in the grass, the whatever. I mean, you're a fucking dog drinking out of your toilet, you retard. You don't think I can see that? Shit.
Your life is all you will ever have.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Shit, sorry. Fairy tales don't exist.
Yeah, we're not the one arguing for one. We're arguing that this thing that you're saying is all you will ever have is shit. Why would I want it? It's all I ever have. It's all I never wanted. It's all I would never initiate. And it's certainly nothing you should be imposing. Stop imposing, fucker.
But you know what? You've still got life. And I know you like it.
Maybe a little bit of pursuit.
Oh, and I know you hate it, and all you are, but you hate death more, but you're afraid, you're afraid, you're afraid, you're afraid of your ego having to die. Your individual, preposterous, nihilistic ego.
As to what it is that you are valuing.
I know how horrible life can be. Stop being a complete moron.
No, you obviously don't. I mean, again, you keep talking like, well, I know how much the fuel cost that goes into the engine. Well, no, you obviously don't, because there's no way you could do this fucking math. The cars went 3 feet, all right, and we put $9,006,478 worth of gas in it. Only an idiot, only a fucking retard would do that.
Fuck you, you freaking... I'm Gary. I'm doing all this mannerisms, you fucktard. I bet, even though you've got a camera there, you're probably still going...
Well, do I do that? Do I go... No, I think that's you, Gratex. You're the yellow bus special. You fucker.
Okay.
Look at you.
Anyway, there you go. This is probably going to be a very long video, and I apologise to people, but Listen to the strawmanning in the video. Listen to the bullshit coming out of there.
Yeah, listen to it. I mean, especially that religion part where he's talking about people talking about the right to die and the fact that life is an imposition, and he's calling that the same as believing in, like, heaven or something. Like, somehow there's a comparison there that makes any sense whatsoever. No, that's right. No comparison whatsoever. He's the one who thinks life was created for a purpose, that it's accomplishing something because, well, it must be, right? Because it's here. I mean, come on. Who's got the religion problem? That's right. He is. You're retard.
You know, it's like, I'm telling people in hospital beds that they have to go on living. Have you ever considered that people in hospital beds want to go on living anyway? Did you even ask them?
Well, really, that, again, we know people aren't allowed to even answer the question. If they answer the question, they're going to be psychoanalyzed and mistreated and abused by this kind of pop culture ideology of yours. You're the one aiding and supporting the people who won't ask the question, and if they get the wrong answer, won't respect the answer the person gives. So we already know that truth. Who are you helping? Who are you allied yourself with? That's right, the pro-life loonies.
You know, like that guy said, are you saying that homeless people, or is it being homeless is a preferable life? Why don't you ask homeless people?
Well, why would you ask people who are mostly, 80% at least, whacked out of their fucking mind? Let's go ask the crazy people. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's ask crazy people.
If they want to live or not. If they can accept their position. Because, no, that guy didn't even talk to a single homeless person. Just like you haven't walked up to somebody in a hotel bed, a hospital bed, and said, you want to die, do you? No, you want to die, that's it. You're in pain.
We know we can't have that rational conversation, and you know it. You know that every kid that gets sick, that kid never gets the choice. He never gets to be just said, hey, you know what? You got this incurable disease. We could torture you for 3 years, bone marrow transplant, or, look, you could have a good party. We could party for a couple of months, go see anything you want to do, get at hookers, have a good time, and then just gracefully let you slide out of here. So what do you say? Are they given that option, gratex? No, they're not. They're kind of obliged and forced to keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting because poor mommy and daddy can't accept it if little Jimmy's gone. And we force them to endure all kinds of fucking suffering because we psychologically abuse them. And that's all it is. It's fucking psychological abuse. Fuck you, cunt.
You want to die, so I'm going to help you die. Did you bother asking them? Of course not. Because you don't care about individual choice. You care about your...
Yeah, where's the individual choice? Again, imposition. You're just going to keep avoiding the goddamn subject. Alright? You're playing fucking God. You should have a strong argument if you're going to be fucking doing that. Alright? If you're going to do the imposing, then you have the burden of proof. You have the burden of authority. You have the burden to make the far superior argument in defense of life, and you have nothing but tripe. Fucking life is a journey, not a destination. Yeah, fuck you.
Individual choice. You care about your individual choice to go on imagining that you want to die, yet you do fuck all to cause it to happen. You might, at some point, go do some research. Maybe after the Kate Perry song.
Well, again, it's not his obligation, and you can just keep making this argument as if it means something, but it doesn't. Alright? People who are alive are going to find dying difficult, even if they want to be gone. Even if they want to be dead. Dying is difficult, asshole.
In the background, because you like that song. Maybe because you're going to have a nice sandwich tonight for yourself. Oh, I might have a nice sandwich tonight. So after that, I might have a good night's sleep. And then I might, when I get up in the morning,
you should get exactly what you deserve. Exactly what this rhetoric earns you. No empathy, no compassion, no mercy from the gods that be. I wish there was justice in the universe, that you could live what you sentence other people to live. So I hope you turn out to be the most, everything you absolutely hate, that you have to live it. Because that's what you're doing to other people. You're sanctioning, imposing on other people in just as hideous a manner. So, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. I think that's enough. Yeah, more than enough. Over an hour. Yeah. Yeah, bad news. Vimeo, apparently they did delete Fred's channel. Whatever, his account. And so that's just not good. So, I'll still post videos there, especially the HD videos, because what the hell, I got an account for a year. I paid for it. But yeah, I guess I won't get too aggressive in terms of using their features or community as much. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, it's very disappointing. Just to wipe out all of his content. I hope they at least sent him a financial refund. Just kind of bullshit. You take somebody's money and then you delete all their videos. Fuck that. Really. Look, they should just enforce the law. They should just have a toss that says, look, obey the law, and if you don't, we'll tell people how to sue you. Okay, we'll suggest to people that they go to a court or a policeman if they think you're violating the